It's been a very sad year. I lost my stalker. Ain't that sad? You know, you really don't know what you got till it's gone. You know, I remember when I first met my stalker, she was outside my house. You know, it's weird when you get a stalker because there's two parts of your brain. You know, first time you get a stalker, you're like, oh my God, this is so weird and scary. But then there's the other part of your brain that's like, I guess I'm doing well. And then you get a good look at your stalker and you're like, maybe not so well. I don't know. I'll never forget, I met her. She was outside my house wearing a shirt with my face on it. And it wasn't even a flattering photo. It was like blown up and warped. My eyes were all over. It was like a nightmare. It was so, it insulted me. I almost wanted to go, it was so bad. I wanted to go up to her and be like, hey, if you're ever gonna do this, like, here's 5 photos of myself that I like, okay? So, you know, I pull up, she's out there, you know, and she's a stalker, you know, so, you know, not hot, you know. That's just what you picture when you picture a stalker, you know, not hot, you know. If they were hot, they wouldn't be a stalker, you know what I mean? They'd be my girlfriend, you know what I mean? So, yeah. How much do you love me? We'll figure it out. Get up there. So, I'm outside, right, and I pull up, and she's there, and I don't have a gun, right, but she doesn't know that, right? So I was watching a lot of SVU at the time, and I noticed when they're approaching the perp, they usually get out of the car, they kind of show their gun, and they usually put it kind of in their jacket like this, and they walk to, you know, let them know they got one, but, you know, not to alarm people, you know? And I didn't have a gun, but I was like, she don't fucking know that, right? So I made a finger gun, and I put it in my pocket like this, and I started walking towards her, okay? So I'm looking at her like this, and she's kind of smiling at me. She's kind of, I was like, why is she smiling? And then I was like, oh, she thinks I have a boner. Okay, yeah. This is like her Make-A-Wish, you know what I mean? This is, and then I literally went, not a boner, just a finger gun, which I think is worse. I think I should have just had a boner, to be honest with you. Because now I'm like a loser in front of my own stalker, and now she's winning. Now I'm bothering her in a weird way. So I go, what are you doing here? And I don't know where to look, because like I'm on her shirt and I'm all over the place. And she's, you know, I'm a little scared to talk to her, so I'm just like confused. I was like, what are you doing here? And she was just like, I love you, you know? And I was like, that's very nice, but, you know, you can't be here. And she goes, why? And I was like, oh, I don't know. It's never gotten this far, to be honest with you. Usually you go, get the fuck out, and people are like, ah, sorry. You know, I didn't expect someone to challenge. And I was like, I don't know. You just can't be here. And she was like, why? And I was like, I don't know where to go. You know, and I was trying to think what to say. And then I was thinking about it. She seemed a little nuts, you know. You know, I'm crazy, so like crazy people could, you know, we could tell, you know. She's definitely a little nuts, you know what I mean? She's, you know, I mean, first of all, look at the shirt, you know, and she's stalking me, you know what I mean? That's, you know. So I felt a little bad, you know. I was like, you gotta be like nice and careful with this situation, right? So I told her, I was like, I went like elementary school on her. I went like, hey, I was like, you can't be here because this is where I go poopy. And after I said that, a little like light flickered in her eye, like she was a Who from Whoville. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I go poopy here. She goes, ugh. I was like, you wouldn't want to be here while I'm doing that, right? And she goes, no. And I got like a little embarrassed. I was like, why? You'd be so lucky. You'd be so lucky if you were around my poopy. And she was like, what? I was like, no. I was like, yeah. You shouldn't come here. I could be pooping, and that's gross, you know. And I have Crohn, so it could be a war zone up there. Okay? And she was like, okay, I'm sorry. I won't ever come back here. And then she left, right? And I thought the problem was solved. No, that is just our first encounter, okay? It's a very long story, so buckle in. Also, I do have Crohn's. I told people I had Crohn's when I was like 19, 20, because I had it really bad. And then now it's mostly fine, like 90% of the time. But like, It's weird. I don't like telling people that, like, because I got good meds, because, things are going all right. So I'm doing okay. But the reason why I don't, that's a gross thing to say, but I have to kind of say it because people come up to me outside and, like, try to bond with me over, like, Crohn's. And it's just, like, not even, like, at the bathroom, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just be, like, in line, like, at a store, and someone will come up to me and be like, hey, me too. And I'm like, what? And they just go like, yeah. I got a poopy butthole as well. Name's Phil, and I'm like, fucking. I don't have the heart to be like, I don't have your Crohn's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like the Magic Johnson of Crohn's, you know what I mean?